All right, it says we're live. Should be live this time. Okay, there we go. I did not know why it did not stream, but let me go ahead and here. Can you see me now? Should be able to see me now. Start this. All right, there we go. Now we're on. Okay. Do not know what that was about, but that's fine. We make adjustments here. Waiting. Let's go. Bob Sales in line. Daniel Marquez, what's good? Jimbo Lee Lingo, dude, are you going to New York Comic Con this year, Jimbo? I thought I heard you say you were. I don't know. There's a lot of people going. It sounds like. JKRB, let's fucking go. Nick Batcher says aloha. See and hear you good. Okay, good. Good. Up. Can't say. I hope you're feeling better. I know earlier this week you said you weren't feeling well, so I hope you're feeling better now. There you are. No, Master, not this time. Maybe next year. Okay, we'll see. I'm excited. I'll definitely be doing a live stream, same thing with my collectibles, and I'm sure a few other content creators as well. We're all going to be making, doing live streams for the most part. Yeah, today I was just gonna run through some stuff on the market. Then I was gonna do a X-Men like watch party of X-Men. I'm surprised there's a lot of people that do not know that there was actually an X-Men cartoon that released in 1989. So before the 90s version, it aired one episode. It was just a pilot, never again. There was a lot of like video, like arcade games and comic, and like there was actually a few things actually based off of that one episode. They really thought it was gonna like take off, and it probably should have, to be honest. In some ways, I do like the art style more in that '89 cartoon than the recent one we have. So, we'll have fun. Yeah, I will. Thanks for that. This time next year, Jimbo. Oh my God, there it is. Good on vibes. Thank you, vibes. But sick, still sick. Dinner with the wife right now. Gotcha. All right. Well, hope you're feeling better, dude. Cool. How are you guys feeling about everything? Did we actually, I did want to look up one thing here real quick. Okay, I'm already on the Veve like official Twitter. Spaces event. I'm so upset I'm gonna miss that Spaces event. I'm just not sure how, like, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. There's always like Spaces events like in the middle of the day. It's almost like, I don't know, do people just like not work like in the middle of the day? Like I just can't, maybe it's just my line of work that I'm used to, and it's like I just can't, you know, spend that kind of time off the phones. But there's more. All right, let's see here. Oh my God, dude. All right. I don't think I've fixed this yet either. Nope, I have not. So let me put on the background. This is it. There we go. I muted it. Does this say that? So Professor Xavier, Magneto, okay. Okay, that's a Sunday 15th at 11 a.m. 7:15. Yeah, it's the same day and time. So I wonder if it's going to be a blind box or a side by side. They're both ultra rare. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a blind box or it's like you get to pick one or the other, right? That's one thing I'm kind of curious about for the drop. Since it's the same time. We will be millionaires. Yes, sir. What up? Slavs? Bob Sales. Yep, everyone's here. Sleepy did a really good video on New York Comic Con looking positive. Yeah, there's like, it's absurd. There's like 10 or 12 things that are happening with like the Veve booth where it's like, okay, we have the, I don't know, we have like the, I still don't remember all the names of all this stuff, but it's like, all right, we have like the addiction comic, like the physical and then the digital. And then we also have the, I forgot the name of the, like the fashion company or whatever. Like that's another thing. Then there's Funko Pop, and then there's obviously X-Men 1 plus all the X-Men drops. I'm sure there's probably like 2 or 3 other things that Veve's also going to announce. Don't know why this sounds so loud. Yeah, I'm just excited because it sounds like it's almost like there's like 10 or 12 different things that's like all happening around like the Veve booth, or just things involving Veve that are all happening, whether physically or digitally or for partnerships, which is always a ton of fun. Dang, was sitting on the old live. Yeah, my bad. I don't know what happened. I clicked live and I was talking to myself for like 3 minutes. I'm like, can you guys see me? And I went to my live on like my phone on a different account, and it was just black. And I'm like, okay, I'll just redo the stream. I don't know what it was. Same here. Yeah, my bad. X1 price predictions, please. It's gonna be in this range, so we'll simply just go to in some ways it's pretty much on par to the other just common comics we have on Veve, right? So this is assuming 10k mints, 20 gems, right? This is pretty much the, because I think that's pretty much, actually let's do comics. So for comics, I think Tales of Suspense, Hulk, Thor, and okay, not giant size, but these are the 3 right here. So it's like Iron Man, Hulk, Thor. These are all 10k mints, 20 gems, if I remember correctly. I think it's going to be in this range, not immediately, because if you guys remember, Hulk and Journey into Mystery and stuff, like those were actually pretty high initially. Like you look at Journey into Mystery, this thing pretty much this pretty much peaked at like 70 gems. I don't know if X-Men's going to go that high, but again, I'm assuming 10k mints, 20 gems. I think it's going to initially come out of the gate between like 45 to 65 gems, and then it's going to just slowly pull back, just like a lot of these other comics. As we have like Hulk here, right? You know, maybe X-Men will do a little bit better because it's like a full team, multiple FAs. X-Men is going to be the new arc of basically Disney / Marvel going into the future, right? So it might perform better, like, but not by much. It's not like these comics are going to go for $80 or anything like that, but I do think it's going to kind of be nestled in this like 45 to like I think it tops out at 65, and that's when people are going to start really taking profits. But again, without knowing mint numbers or anything like that, I think that's where it's going to pretty much end up. I think like those 4 comics are going to be kind of just wrestling amongst each other, like for price wise, where it's going to be like X-Men 1, Iron Man, Hulk, Journey into Mystery. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of X-Men fans on the app. Like I like Hulk. Out of these 3, I probably like Iron Man the most, followed by Hulk, then Thor. But X-Men 1 kind of is like just personal preference. I like that one. I like them the most, right? And then Jai says X-Men is kind of in the mix too, but it's like not necessarily I think it has the biggest market cap in real life, just because there's still way more editions, but the value is still really high. But this only has 7,500 mints. Again, for the commons, that's kind of where I'm like guesstimating. And as for like the secret rare, you know, we're looking here, Hulk is at 900, Giant Size is at 900, Thor's at 900, Iron Man's at 900. Like these are all at 900. So I do think initially X-Men 1 comic will probably, I do think it could see it like pumping initially, like maybe peaking at 2k, but then it's going to go down to 1.5. Then it's going to keep pulling back over the next few months, probably throughout Christmas, and probably be in this range too, you know, 900 gems. I think a lot of people know that all these comics are relatively on the same level, just depending on who you like more, right? For the most part. It's hard to say because real life value does play a big role, but you know, if there's just simply more people that like X-Men than, you know, Iron Man or Thor, like it's probably going to go up in value more, right? We'll see. So I think it's just going to be in this range. Might be a little bit above, a little bit below, but it's really hard to say. Because that's kind of where, you know, Giant Size X-Men, remember, I think it peaked at like 1.5k at one point. And obviously it has lesser mints. Yeah, this chart isn't accurate. It keeps saying it's like 9, you know. It says that it was at 999 gems for 3.5 months. That is not the case. It was much higher initially. So with these secret rares, it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, it's I don't know what it is with these charts, but it just seems to like not work with secret rare comics too well. But I could have sworn I remember seeing Journey into Mystery also peak at like 1.5 or like 1.2k or something. So wow, I'm really behind on chat. Let me catch up here. I feel so posh having I have a Zoom. Well, take it easy. Pixel Trader, what's up? Says Vibe Tribe represent. Yes, sir. I do need to make that like a theme or a whatever, like Vibe Tribe, right? I need Professor X and Magneto just because it's the cartoon versions. I agree. As big of a fan as I am, if those are going to be like 60 gem, 6k editions, I don't know if I'm going to go for the drop because I know I could just pick them up again in the secondary for probably like 45 or 50, right? Again, you don't get to pick your mint number, right? But we'll see. It's at the end of the day, pretty much everything on Veve. I don't care if it's a Hyper Grail or you know, a dud comic or whatever it is. It's always going to come down to box price and mint numbers. Those are the two big things. How much does it cost? And how much does it cost? And how many mint numbers are there, right? And those are two knobs that Veve can turn, right? So, I mean, you could turn the gem price up a lot, but you really need to turn down the mint number and vice versa. So if you increase the mint numbers or like the amount of them, make them cheap so people actually want to buy it and just kind of go for more of a collection thing than like a flip opportunity potentially. So sounds like a couple more things haven't been announced. Yeah, we'll find out more during the if you guys haven't seen the Veve already has a planned space for noon Pacific time on X. So spaces, they're gonna do some more announcements or something today. So hey D, great live stream together. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me on. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's a pain being Englishman, physical galore. I'm gonna have to say pay double to get them here in a whole lot of nonsense. Different places. Are you talking about just like trying to buy stuff like overseas or just trying to get some physical stuff delivered from the US? I imagine that's a pain. That's really annoying. I really want that Professor X wheelchair. Yes, sir. The levitation one. We were talking earlier how it looks like a bumper car. So like bumper car, where is it? I think it's down here. Did I go too far down? I need to scroll up. Yeah, just like, I don't know. I think it was Hinano that said, I don't know why it unmutes. I have it muted, but it always unmutes. Like, this just looks like a bumper car. Like, when you really look at it, it's actually hilarious. It just looks like a bumper car from like the side or whatever. Yeah, especially from like that angle. I don't remember the chair being like this like low res or just like I realize it's supposed to be like kind of mimic the comic, but maybe I'm just thinking like more of like the cartoon for the most part. And I do like Magneto. People are like, oh, he looks mad. I'm like, dude, Magneto's almost always mad, except when he's like confronting or kind of talking with Professor Xavier directly. But most of the time, yeah, he is pissed. Bioshock, what's up, dude? Need that Magneto? Magneto looks neato. Let's go. Yo, hope we hit the comic drop. Magneto is something I will go for. I will say I will, if it's a blind box, obviously I'll just play it, but I do want Magneto. It seems like a lot of people want Magneto over Professor Xavier, which I don't blame them. But I mean, I do want to buy both, but it's going to really come down to the, you know, what kind of drop it is, the mint number and the box price. Happier vacation vibes has been going overall. Market videos. I've been enjoying, okay, overall market videos. Yeah, I've been trying to, dude, it's really hard. Like back in the day when I used to do my market update videos, like there was only a handful of things I would kind of give updates on. I really liked the ecomi wiki and like the clear and concise charts. It was like very big and it was easy to see just the general movement. I still like my NFT tracker, but the fact that I have to go to like, the text is really small. It's not very friendly with like web pages to zoom in and kind of get the text bigger, because some of you guys look on your phone, I imagine, right? It's probably almost impossible to see like what the heck's going on the screen. And then when you go to the charts, it's hard to make the chart like make it bigger or easier to read, so or look at. So that is one thing it's kind of hard. And now there's just so many comics and collectibles. Like, I'm trying to keep those videos like under like 12 minutes, but sometimes I probably do talk too much about certain things, but it's like, it feels like I can cover like golden moments, pencils, Hulks, certain comics, and like, then that's it. I'm already at like 10 minutes. So maybe I can kind of do an abridged version, or maybe I kind of rotate different collectibles and stuff. So you're back, not vacation. I'm like, what are you talking about? I like all physicals coming to the partnership. Absolutely crazy. I'm definitely going to prioritize the physicals at the con. Not prioritize, but just in the fact that like, if there's a physical, I'm going to try my best to just, buy it. Because I don't know, physicals, you can only get them at the con, right? Thank you. Yeah, it was a great stream. Funko, dude, Funko's huge. I will go for 2. I think I'm gonna go for 2 of the Funko drops regardless. I'll put one right here, right next to the Veve logo, and the other one, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might keep that or open it or sell it, or I have no idea, but we'll see. V Virgin. V Virgin. I don't know how to. Is it VV Virgin or is it just V Virgin? Let's say V Virgin. Slobs, those 4 comics, everyone will want to have at least one, especially with less grails left to drop. Yeah, there's pretty much what, Hulk 181, arguably Hulk 180, right? Because that's a cameo of Wolverine. Captain America 1, and like there's probably 1 or 2 others I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's pretty much like less than 5 left, right? Yeah, Addiction Comics looks like it's the start of a new era for Veve. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Veve, Pusky. It's pretty much a new era of like, Veve's really, I think, doubling down on physical, right? Partnership with the whole fashion thing. I know the fashion, the items themselves don't have Veve on it, but the Funko Pops do. And then same thing with this new comic. And like, it seems like Veve's really trying to bridge physical into the digital, right? It's so hard without making some sort of connection there, because right now it seems like it's so disjointed and so disconnected from like the physical. Of course, you can kind of make a connection with like the comics, but even like the collectibles themselves, right? Like not every single one has a counterpart. It's like, okay, there's Todd and all that stuff, but they don't have like physical counterparts, and there's not an easy way to, quite frankly, bridge the normies from physical into digital and get them on board and get them into the community and to the concept of digital collecting. So going to New York Comic Con. Yeah, he said he couldn't make it to Comic Con, at least not this year. Funko buyer. Oh, you're trying to find a buyer for you? Yeah, I'm gonna try for X-Men comic drop. We all should. We should all try for the X-Men comic drop and watch D get a secret rare. Steel Warrior shoes, 1.5K. Nice. Are they on the market right now? Hell. See, there's a few of these. That is crazy. So does anybody know how they got these? Like, if you just buy it off the website, do you just instantly get a code, or do you actually have to wait for them to get delivered to you and then you open the box and there's a code inside? Like, that's my question, is like, how are you actually getting these? I could have sworn someone said that there was also, you had to like attend an event, but I think that's for this one, this Sea Queen. Yeah, those are different usernames compared to the other one. So I think this is, pretty sure this is different. No idea. I'd kind of prefer the shoes. The shoes look pretty cool, I will say. I think it will come out strong and then slowly probably drop down to 40 gems. If I don't hit on drop, I'll wait a few weeks. That's pretty much exactly my plan, Slider. Like, I'm not gonna FOMO into a 65 or 59 gem X-Men #1 comic. At least that's not the plan. The Sea Warriors are the best version. Shame I'm a male. They're awesome. Yeah, they are pretty cool. If only there were some pretty cool looking like shoes for males, right? I wish we kind of got those on Veve. You can like throw them on Captain America or whatever. Miles Morales, It those, yes sir. Yes, we don't get Funko. We don't get the physical comics. We don't get the movie promos. That's tough. But you guys have a whole decon to yourselves and all that stuff. I don't know. That's probably not good enough to make up for it. Need the X on the wheels? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably because it's more of a rendition of like the actual comic than the cartoon, unfortunately. Though the X on the wheels would be legit. You can't unsee it as a bumper card. Dude, for real, I cannot unsee it. I'm gonna play bumper card games. Shawnee Poo, what's up, dude? Sucks being a UK Vivi user, not gonna lie, but if I'm gonna have to pay 60 extra on whatever I buy, yeah. Magneto instead of Magneto, it's Magneto. I like it. Need 3 of them Funkos, the rule of 3. Yeah, it's unfortunate they only have a limit of 2. You could probably borrow, you know, I'm sure, you know, obviously if you have a friend or a family member or a loved one, you can use their account and buy an extra one if you want 3. You know, if you're real greedy, if you're really greedy, if you're selfish and greedy, you'll get 3, but 2 is the perfect amount, you know. If I buy, we'll need to pay an extra 60. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it is what it is, you know. Well, the nice thing is if you get a physical in the UK, I mean, you're probably one of the very, very few that actually has a physical in the UK, right? You'll probably be like one of, you know, what, 50 people in the whole UK that has one. So that does make you stand. If you're willing to put in the effort to do it right, that's a pretty big deal. We went for an event that didn't happen yet, so not sure how that works, but the other yeah. Choo Choo, what's up, dude? Hey, what's good, fam? That's how I imagine you said it. Hey, what's good, fam? The difference in decon says it all, dude. Yeah. Nah, it's not even remotely the same. They had one thing at our decon, one of 100 Jermaine t-shirts. That was it. One artist that was actually on Veve, and that art was released that weekend. Trust me, I say there is a huge difference in cons. Oh yeah, I'm not trying to compare decon to Comic Con at all. And when I go to the New York Comic Con, I mean, I've been to decon in SoCal, and I'll go to New York Comic Con. It's way different. I would assume there's at least 50 times more people at the Comic Cons, right? And obviously way more drops and stuff to do and all that. It's probably, you know, less about Veve and more about Marvel at the Comic Cons, but at decon it's all Veve, right? They have their own booth, they're doing their own thing, they can do whatever they want. But when you're at the Marvel booth, you're kind of in a golden handcuff situation. There's certain things you can't, you know, you can't display or show off. You know, everything is Marvel. We're not going to be talking about you know, Rabbids or a Pilly Fantasy, you know, just like looking at the stuff here, like we're not going to be talking, you know, Sesame Street, we're not going to be talking about other things that they're probably not really able to, unless someone brings it up. Hey, Choo Choo. Yeah, for Australia, we get no events and drops at 2 a.m. Dude, that is so rough. Dude, Australians just get it rough, and just in general. I feel like they're always the last ones considered for a lot of things like online. If you're talking about video games, you know, there's a couple video games I used to play where they would do like server updates or whatever it is, and it was always like right in the middle of the time when like Australia was playing, because everyone else is asleep. They're like, all right, which time zone is going to affect the least amount of people? Okay, it's this time zone that's in Australia. All right, that's where we're going to restart the servers and do all this stuff. That was when I played like EVE Online. It was always like right when Australia, like right in the middle of the day of when Australia was like, I think it was like right after they got off work or something like that, or whatever it is. And so they always just kind of end up getting the short end sick, but they don't complain. They just deal with it, right? They just go outside, do fun stuff, drink all day, catch some of the most poisonous creatures that have ever existed, you know? It always sounds like fun. Best thing about UK Con was the people, for sure. The event was bad. Oh, yeah, the people was the best part, I imagine. So going to buy them, any means necessary, yeah. I'm comparing just decon to decon. Oh, decon, I get, okay. Decon to decon. Yeah, there's probably just the logistics of moving artists and all that stuff to, you know, the UK. A lot of the artists are actually in SoCal. Like, I feel like a lot of the artists and people that Veve partner with are in California typically. Yeah, Australia and New Zealand, we only have 25 million people or so. Yeah, that's like the population of one of our states. What's the population? Uh, let's see. What's the population of New York State? Okay, the population of New York, like the state, is 20 million people. So, yeah, California, I think is like 55 million. So, I mean, generally speaking, like states in the US are pretty much the equivalent of countries in a lot of other places, right? So, it's kind of funny when people think of the US or like, you know, even California, like people think, oh, California's just a giant beach. It's like, not really. Just, you know, just the first 5 miles of it off the coast is, you know, beach, or first few miles, but everything else is inland and all these different biomes and stuff. So pause, drink some water, dude. That's a lot of reading. That is a lot of reading. I'm just trying to catch up. New Zealand? Yeah. Not reading, it's deciphering. Yeah, I'm trying to, it's sometimes it's hieroglyphics sometimes with bobsales. Highway 1. Yes, sir. Highway 1. All right, let's take a look at some stuff today. I'm just kind of curious. A lot of people said that Storm was up today. I kind of knew she might get a little bit of a pump because of the X-Men stuff going on, right? Wow, actually, okay, Secret Rare's up 28%. The Rare's up 75%. Okay, this is actually uncommon. Where's the common? Okay, common went up a little bit. Probably because the floors are so thin for like the rare, ultra rare, and secret rare. Like the secret rare says it went up 30%. Rare went up 75%. Went up a whole 9 gems. Ultra rare went up only about 18%. I knew she would do well. I still need to buy her. You know, I'll wait 2 months. I'll buy her again. I'll buy a common again at 8 gems, 7 gems. I'm not in a huge rush to buy her. It's not the Storm that I know, so it's not the same outfit. It's not the same hairdo. It's not the same generation or kind of whatever X-Men she's from. So I'm still waiting for like the 90s version of X-Men, right? Have we all lost vibes? No, I'm here. Oh, did the stream stop? Dude, what is going on? We're still going? Let's see here. I think we're okay. Okay. I think we're fine. All right, I think we're good. Are we good? Can you guys see and hear me? All right, yeah, I don't know what it was. All right, I'll catch up here. X-Men is here. Yes, sir. Dude, Arcade. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. One of us will do it. We got to jump on one of our live streams tomorrow. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow and actually keep it open for people to jump up. And just talk X-Men. We don't have to talk about X-Men, but preferably X-Men. We need more X-Men characters. Yes, sir. Are we actually buffering? Keeps freezing for me too. I think it might be my internet or just something going on. No, you're good? Okay, good now. Okay. It's that UK internet, bro. That's probably what it is. Stream's good. Good. Okay, good. Smooth as butter. Smooth as bad oil. Yes. That's it right there. But yeah, Storm is up a little bit. Let's look at any comics. What about any X-Men comics? I'll just do... There's a dash in here, right, for X-Men? There's like a hyphen. Just all X-Men. Let's look at the commons. See if any movement's been going on with the X-Men. Let's do 24-hour trend. Keep stopping for me too. With this me collab. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, collab, whatever. You know, whatever. I'm just gonna... I might do a pretty open platform. Similar to... kind Kind of how the uncommon podcast stopping for me too. You're good. You're good. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. All right, we're good. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. Any X-Men comics up right now? Some of them are up. This one's up a little bit. Uncanny X-Men 308. Classic cover. That one's pretty cool. That one's up about 1 gem. This one with the first appearance of Kitty Pryde as well as Emma Frost. This one right here. I do like this one a lot. This one's chilling at about 2 gems. I think I have like 6 or 7 of these. It's kind of getting to the point now where I might start actually like stacking comics. I feel like we still might have a little ways to go, but I think we're starting to kind of get towards the bottom for a lot of this stuff. Nothing wonky happened to me. Let's go. Yes, sir. And then Dazzler. Dude, Dazzler's been making some big moves. I think a lot of it has to do with the scarcity, Taylor Swift, but I think mostly Sleeping Comics. Let's be real. He's pumping his bags. No, I think I think a lot of people obviously respect his opinion. And so, I don't know if you guys can see this. Again, these charts are really small. I really wish I could make them bigger. I guess I technically can, but it just does not look the best once I actually zoom out afterward. So yeah, it peaked at 18 gems, the commons, at one point. So it went all the way down to like 9. So in the course of... What is this? Yes, in the course of one day, less than a day, 20 listings got bought up from 29 to 9. Then people started listing them, and then now we're up to 42 listings for the common. So yeah, so Dazzler is doing really, really well. Dazzler is actually in this episode that we're going to watch here in a little bit. And the episode is only 20 minutes long. I'm surprised a lot of people have not heard about X-Men 89. I really, really like Magneto's. There's a few characters like the way they look. I really like their aesthetic in the cartoon. Stream just went into an ad for me. Yeah, Slav. So it happened on my collectible stream too. I don't know if YouTube is trying a new. I don't know if YouTube's trying like a new like ad thing or whatever. Honestly, I just kind of thumbed through it. So maybe next time I do my next stream, I'll see if there's a way I can either like disable it or at least like lower the frequency or whatever. But my collectible said the same thing was happening on his YouTube, on his live streams as well. So I think it's a new thing that YouTube like literally started this week. So Dazzler has low editions too. That is true. She only has 5,000 editions. So I think that's a huge reason. I think my comments gets deleted. No, it's here. Sometimes I will say this. Sometimes when I read comments, every time I click on a comment, like a weird menu will pop up and it like blocks some of your comments. So I have to like click again to like move it, to like move the box. And sometimes it gets rid of it, you know, like that. So if I get rid of your comment, sometimes it's not always because I like missed it or something like that. I apologize if I do, but it's just the UI for this kind of like showing the comment is just a bit weird. But overall, it doesn't look like comics are like X-Men comics are like pumping or going crazy, and I don't expect that either for them to do, you know, insanely well just because Professor Xavier X-Men 1. If anything, they're going to go down in price, right? Like actually, the floor of Giant Size X-Men is still going down. Just the other day it was at 30 gems, now it's at 29. Trying to think of like what's a good buy point for a Giant Size X-Men, because this one has 7,500 mints. And it's getting pretty darn cheap. I mean, it's pretty much halfway back to box price, right? Because this is 20 gems. No, this one was 10 gems. I forgot about that. The release price was 10 gems. Because I actually bought a handful of these at like between like 13 to 18 gems for the most part. I have a small stack of X-Men. I have a small X-Men stack of Veve comics. Whenever the various comics drop in the 2 gem price range, I usually specifically buy common and uncommons. Yeah, those are good pickups, especially if you look at the uncommons. Some of these uncommons look really cool, like this one. Actually, some of the more Veve exclusive ones, like Astonishing X-Men #1, Uncanny X-Men #4, where it's not just like the muted gray background, when it's actually like an exclusive cover, like this one with the X-Men 25 variant with Magneto and like the shattering glass. Apparently this was a cover for like a VHS tape or like a CD or something like that. It's some sort of you know, it wasn't a comic, it was something else. That was like an entertainment, like medium or whatever. I really like these Thanksgiving ones, even though they're basically like worth nothing. Just the art and all the characters, I really enjoyed these comics. I don't know if I still have this. Maybe I sold it. But if I don't, I'll have to like relook and just buy that one again. I really like the art on those Thanksgiving ones, even though they're worth nothing. Like, I just love the art on it. I saw your comment about the ad slobs. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, there's something YouTube's doing with ads. So next time I'll do it, when I do a live stream, I'll see if I can either disable it or at least lower the frequency if it is happening like too often. It's all downhill for X-Men drops after X-Men 1 and Magneto drop. Not necessarily. Like, Wolverine is still huge, right? So Wolverine is by far and away the most popular X-Men, if you're counting bad guys or good guys. Like, he's the most popular X-Men, right? Probably followed by Magneto, I would say. He's probably the next most I know everyone knows Charles Xavier, but just probably just their aesthetic and all that stuff. But I think just because you release the most popular versions of certain things, I don't think it just means like the rest of the drops might not be as good, right? So if we ever release Yoda or Count Dooku or Darth Maul or the Emperor, it's like, okay, because they're not the top tier, they're all worthless. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I get what you mean, Wes, that because we're getting some of the, I think the only thing that can top off Professor Xavier and Magneto is Wolverine, in my opinion. So that, or unless we get some like super scarce drop of like the Phoenix or something crazy like that. Scarcity is always going to be a really big deal too as well. Trying to tell you about better charts and it gets deleted. About better charts. To tell you about better charts and it gets deleted. Are you talking about the charts on here, or is there another like app you're trying to recommend? The comment. Yeah, if you didn't mention something about better charts, I must have either missed it or it just went away. That X-Men 25 was a poster. Okay, that's what I figured. I thought it was like a poster or something weird like that. Yeah, Wolverine is an X-Men. Yeah, he's on the, he's on the cover of a lot of these. Wolverine is huge. He has different variations of him. Yeah, Wolverine is very big. But the other team members are still going to do well. I hope they like restrict the liquidity a little bit on those, obviously, to like keep making them relevant. Like, like if they drop any of the original giant size X-Men characters too, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Cyclops has been around since day one, but yeah, if they drop any of those guys, those are going to do well. Obviously not to the level of maybe like Magneto or Wolverine, but they'll still do well. Just replace 3 with E at E? What? Just replace 3 with E with an A. I'm confused. I must be just dense, or maybe I'm just like taking what you're saying out of context. We'll see. I will say this also. Gambit is like, there's a lot of people that like Gambit because he's probably one of the more unique characters in X-Men. He definitely has like a small cult following too. Kind of similar to like, I don't want to say like Silver Surfer or anything like that, because obviously they're like very different power levels and like 2 different groups and stuff like that. But there are some like anti-heroes or like superheroes or characters in general that are kind of a bit more niche that maybe not everyone's heard of, but there's like a big following of like hardcore collectors or people that like them. Yes, I really like that X-Men 25 and the Thanksgiving one. Yeah, right? It's good art. I do like that one a lot. The art. See if I can get all the names right. It should be pretty easy. Jubilee. Dude, I keep thinking I'm actually blanking. Not Cable. Bishop. Rogue, Gambit, Storm, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman. Turkey there in the middle. It's hard because like Bishop and Cable always went hand in hand because they're both like time travelers. and stuff like that. So anytime like one was around, typically the other one was around as well to try to like stop the other one, because I think Cable was kind of like a time traveling like policeman in a way, or like time traveling like agent that kind of like worked for, you know, higher authorities, while Bishop didn't, more or less. So sorry, it gets deleted. Gotcha. It's removing my comments. Gotcha. Let's go. Biggest bro, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, X-Men, dude. X-Men's big. X-Men's very big. After all the big things have dropped, if new people come in, the new people will have to go back and pick them up. After time, there'll be less and less for them to get. That's exactly it. And I think that's kind of something I talked about with my collectibles and even other people in the space, where it's like, you know, even like Wes says, it's like once the biggest stuff drop, like what's left, right? Once we get X-Men #1, Captain America #1, we get, you know, Wolverine, you know, Hulk 181, and then like there might be one other two pretty big comics after that, but like after that, like what's left, right? We're gonna get a lot of like kind of, you know, B, C rate comics. There might be some hidden one, or maybe Veve will find a way to make up for the lack of popularity by making it really scarce, right? Because they could always just get a pretty, you know, B rate comic and then just throw, you know, 3,000 editions at it and be like, wow, this is really scarce. Now all of a sudden it's worth a lot, right? So that can happen too. Maybe that's Vivi's way of making up for it. Who knows? But there's going to be a certain point where, you know, I'm kind of curious to see, like, once we get all the big comics on the app, will that kind of have the same reaction to the community? Kind of the same thing as, like, you guys ever notice there's like drops that happen on Veve, right? There's like drops on Veve that will like slowly sell out. It won't sell it immediately, right? Like maybe after the first rebound, it'll sell out right away, right? But there's some comics that like don't sell out for like an hour or two after the drop. And like the prices are super, super low. And then the second it sells out, prices start rising up very quickly, right? Because the supply is gone. Like there's no more to be had. And everyone that wants to floor them has, for the most part, already floored it. So at that point, it starts going up. So I'm kind of curious to see if that same kind of trend will happen, but with like comics, where it's like, all right, we got the 3 or 4 like next big ones. Okay, what's left? Kind of nothing. Kind of the supply, quote unquote, of all the grails are done. They're all on the market. You know, now is the time to grab them or whatever. I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. I'll DM you on Twitter. Something is triggering deleting. Just a better, easier chart site. Yeah, let me know. Oh, well, try not to link it. Maybe because you're linking it. I think that, so if it's actual like links are disabled except for people that are like mods on the channel. People that can like moderate the chat, just because I don't want people accidentally putting links or phishing links. Probably because a long time ago during the bull run, there's like links everywhere and all that stuff. I didn't want people's, I don't want bad shit to happen by people clicking links. So Slutter says, yes, Bishop and Cable are linked for sure. So sometimes in my mind, initially I'll get them mixed up, but yeah, they're pretty different. As the good doctor would say, are stacking or slacking X-Men 1 vibes? Dude, I'm stacking, but there's a price range that I have. I mean, if people are disrespecting it and putting it for under 40, like initially, I'll definitely buy some, thinking it'll run up to 50 or 60. I'll flip a few or whatever. I mean, I think it's gonna get treated like anything else, right? I mean, look at AF15. There's bigger comics on the app that are still pulling back, right? AF15, all these other ones with the same amount of men. So it's like the initial hype is gonna be big, right? Even if I were to buy 4 or 5, I'll probably still end up selling like 3 or 4 of them and just keeping one long term, just to say I got one on the drop or whatever. But it's gonna pull back like anything else. Like I'm a realist. Like as big of an X-Men fan as I am, I'm not gonna think it's like immune to the market and all that stuff. Like there's bigger characters and IPs on Veve than arguably bigger than X-Men, and they're still going down in value just because the bear market, right? So yeah, I know about links. Did this work? It did not. Whatever you tried to do, it didn't work. Yeah, just message me on X if you can. What it is. That's really unusual. I'm sorry it's deleting your link or whatever you're trying to say. I don't know if it's like a banned word or I don't know what it is. Don't see anything except did this work. Yeah, that is strange. Can't DM you on X? Probably because we're not following each other. Yeah, I think you have to follow me or I have to follow you. Sometimes I kind of forget how that works. But how many people we have in here? Oh, we got a nice healthy 23 people in here. Let's go. Don't forget to the like button. I think we might start the X-Men episode here in a little bit. It's about 20 minutes long, so it's not terribly long. But it's a really, really good episode. They aired one episode. It's a pilot back in 1989 and just stopped. Never continued it. Nothing like that. So do want to check some stuff out on the market. Let's look at collectibles really quick. Get rid of the X-Men tag. What's up and what's down right now? Obviously, some of the Storm stuff is up. This winking Santa stamp is up. That's kind of weird. Got some posters up right now. We got Lenectra. She went up a full like 37%. I don't know if it's just thin floors, but she went up a full like gem and a half. Thor's hammer. I actually been wanting to buy a Thor's hammer, the original Thor, like from the first movie, like the classic Mjolnir. I think this is also like an interesting little pickup too. Is this Mickey? Too Much Magic? This is the animated one, you remember? Where he's actually like moving around and he's like doing hand stuff. That might be one I have to pick up because that's a pretty cheap, like, you know, high, I'd say high definition, but just very high quality collectible for 20 gems. It's going for 20 gems right now, so not bad. If you don't have any like Mickey collectibles and you want something animated, I mean, for 20 bucks, that's not bad. And actually this pumped a little bit. This was actually at 14 gems at one point, I guess. So now it's up to 20. You can maybe wait on that one. Ben Riley's up 11. The uncommon. Gosh, I remember when this Ben Riley was selling for over $1,000, wasn't it? Or maybe like in the hundreds. Yeah, it hit $1,000 in January 18, 2022. It hit $1,000 for about a day or two. Then immediately went back down to, you know, this in the 700s, and then now it's, I mean it's been under 800 for a year and a half, a little bit less. Yeah, it's been down for a while. Hit the like button. What's up, dude? I really like that Addiction comic cover. Yeah, we'll look at that one really quick. Sorry for the sound if it plays, because there we go. Yeah, these comic covers look really, really awesome. I forgot which one. I need to listen to the I still haven't done yet, but I still need to listen to the space that Heather had with the artists and all the people involved with the Addiction. So I'm not sure which one's I think the one on the right is the digital, right? The blue one, and then the one on the left is physical, or maybe they're both digital, but one is physical. I'll have to actually look. I thought Veve did drop info on this comic. Yeah, here it is right here. Dude, sorry for the flashbang. It always does that whenever I click a link. Okay, so this is the common. I do like that one. All right, there we go. So uncommon is the red. I do like that red a lot. Rare looks fire. Ultra rare, blue. Secret rare is just full black and white. That's pretty cool. It's not my favorite, but dude, just the colors on that red and blue look really, really good. I don't know why, but like looking at it gives me like a female John Wick vibes, just because like the full suit and everyone's just like on their ass. But I know she does some like drug chemical compound thing with her hands and stuff, which is pretty cool. So I do like the rare. The rare one looks pretty cool too. With her hand, it's kind of making like weird chemical compound, like smoke or something like that coming out. This guy's the most psychedelic side of her hand, and then this looks really cool. Definitely want the blue. I'm perfectly happy with the red or the blue, but yeah, the Addiction comic is fire. Was looking back, man, you couldn't buy a rare comic for under 100. Yeah, dude, those were the days when, you know, all the rares were above 100 or like above 50 gems, and it was just like, yeah, I remember just buying trash tier comics and they were all going for at least like, you know, 10, 12 gems, like guaranteed. I mean, it's guaranteed profit, right? You just need to land the drop, and you're like, oh, I only got this much profit instead of that much. But now it's like, you know, either ultra rare, secret rare, or bust for the most part, unless it's a very, very big comic, right? So I do like these. And how many mint numbers are here? I guess I got to go all the way to the bottom for that. There we go. All right, kind of a weird edition size, 6,850. Yeah, it's kind of a weird. I don't know why they divvied it up this way. So 2,076 and then 1,580, 1,168. I'm not sure if these numbers mean anything, but it's kind of an interesting mint size they've kind of picked out for each rarity for the most part. All right, so I'm gonna do this right at 6 o'clock. That's when we're gonna actually start the X-Men viewing. We're gonna watch 20. We'll go back to doing market stuff afterward, but I just wanted to watch the episode of X-Men. I bet most of you guys have not seen it if you haven't already. We're just gonna watch it together. I'll put it up on the stream and I'll play it. And if you guys wanna watch alongside or look it up, it's a lot of fun. But Veve 101, bringing your collection to life. Okay, cool. Waitlist blind box, 30 minutes. Do you think, has Veve fixed they haven't had a drop yet, right? Since did anyone try for that one drop? This one? The most recent drop they had. This one? Whoops. Dracula? Did anybody try this drop and see that they weren't able to like list the comic for 10 minutes, right? I thought Veve was trying to fix it to where if you win a drop, you know, the first 10 minutes after the drop, you can't list it, right? On the market. That way, I guess more people get deliveries. And then after that, you know, it happens and you only get 5 minutes to click accept or buy. Kind of glad Veve's experimenting with that. Just kind of changing things up on like the drop, the waitlist system. So. And obviously I'll stop the music when we get to the point of watching the X-Men. So was there anything else you guys wanted me to check out like very last minute before we jump into the video? I did sell a couple things just to have a little bit more liquidity for some X-Men stuff. There might be some more things I might sell, some small stacks of things I've actually had, but mostly it's just been comics. Mostly it's ultra rare comics that I kind of landed on the drop and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool, I'll just keep it. And then, of course, when X-Men drops, I'm like, all right, I don't love this. I'm just going to sell it for the most part. So, of course, biggest bro was to look at Kang. Of course. I don't mind at all. What's Kang doing? He's actually like a pretty highly detailed character. Or just like the collectible itself. Like actually like the way the fabric looks and like the shine and all that stuff. I really actually do like that a lot. Let's see what the rare Kang's doing. So it's at 15 gems. I don't know if you guys can see that. 15 gems for the rare, and then 59 for the ultra rare. Release amount 1,464. Obviously, he's going to keep playing a big part. He's going to be the final arc, it sounds like, for all the Loki and kind of the pseudo Avengers thing and all that stuff. So I think he's going to pretty much be the big bad here for the near future until I think all the stuff with X-Men and mutants and all that stuff kicks off. Then we're gonna have like kind of a new big bad for the most part. But he needs to go to 10. Trash collectible. Yeah. Well, actually, let's take a look at the floors really quick. See what the heck Kang's actually doing. There's like a solid floor at 10. Okay. I mean, it's somewhat thin. Like right here, there's a little wall right here in the middle at about 19 gems. But yeah, it kind of skips like. It goes up a gem each collectible for the most part. There's a 6 digit. There's a 3 digit right here going for 19, but yeah, I was never like personally like the biggest fan of Kang or whatever. It seems like his character was just kind of rushed. I think they could have fleshed him out a bit more across more movies and made him a bit more compelling, but it is what it is. All right, I think we're getting to that point now. I'm gonna go ahead and put on X-Men. I will say this. I might occasionally stop the X-Men show just to like make like a random comment, right? But nothing too crazy. Also, apparently this also has Apparently this also has some ads at the beginning, like, oh, this, because this is like the cartoons of the time, right? How do I make myself smaller? Make myself a little bit smaller. There, okay, I'm gonna make myself a little bit smaller so I'm not in the way. There, I'm tiny. That way it's easier to see what's going on. Commentary, yeah, we'll do some maybe I'll pause it. Okay, I'll probably pause it maybe 3 or 4 times throughout this whole thing. I'm not gonna do it the whole time. You've never seen X-Men? Okay, so this isn't the X-Men that everyone's talking about. When people talk about 90s X-Men, this is not it. This is actually a 1 episode pilot ever done. They did 1 episode and that was it. This was back in 1989. They did 1 episode, then they stopped, and it just kind of died out. But Konami and a few other companies made like an arcade game after this. There were some other video games made. There were some like posters and all. There was a lot of like marketing material around this show. They thought it was going to take off, but it just never did. So they just died off. And it wasn't until years later where they came out with a 90s version. That's actually when it came out. I love the authentic. This is like the authentic. Watch it here. I'll let it play.
It's Marvel Comics.
Let me know soon.
Spider-Man like you've never seen him before. In 4 action-packed video games, Spider-Man comes to the NES in Revenge of the Sinister Six. Dr. Octopus has assembled Electro, Mysterio, Hobgoblin, and more. Only you can disarm his evil plan to rule the world. For portable web-swinging action, it's Spider-Man 2 for Game Boy and Spider-Man for Game Gear. You'll need your spider sense when you take on supervillains Venom and Carnage. Get ready as Marvel Comics Dream Team bursts onto Super Nintendo in Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. It'll take all your mutant powers, Spidey's webs, Wolverine's adamantium claws, Cyclops' optic blasts, Storm's lightning, and Gambit's exploding cards to foil Arcade's diabolical plot. Marvel Comics Amazing Spider-Man on NES, Game Boy, Game Gear, and now Super Nintendo. If this is too much action for you, take it up with this guy.
I'm still muted. Yeah, they made like a whole video game over this X-Men episode, and it just didn't go anywhere, which I think is kind of funny. I'll just read the comments super quick. Hasn't started. I liked X-Men movies. Yep. X-Men arcade game was one of my favorites. Dude, it was awesome. Me and my brothers would play it all the time. Every time we went to the arcade, we would always play there. Let's go retro commercials. Loving that sax on the intro. Yeah. Is that Stanley's voice? I think it might have been. He is in the actual cartoon, but also watch this commercial too.
If you think superheroes like me can fight all your battles for you, think again. Voting for your local, state, and federal representative lets you choose who's on your side in all the issues we face today. From the little ones to the really big ones too. But before you can vote, you need to register, so do it now. For registration forms or information on how to register, visit your local participating video store. Have a voice in your future. Register and vote. And Tom Spider-Man sent you.
I like that. Even Spider-Man's telling you to vote. Go to your local video store to vote, right? I keep thinking how important FA on the blockchain will be. Will Wolverine on the cover be true FA? I think they're 2 different mediums. Like there's a comic and then there's like the digital collectible. At least that's how Veve identifies it, right? Is it, depending on how big Veve is Veve's version of FA going to be more important than actual blockchain FA? Who knows, right? But we'll see. All right, we're going to jump into it. you guys can tell, way different intro than like the classic X-Men, right? This is way different. This is, some people, I've watched this with some friends, and they're just like, totally gives me just like 80s, like cheesy, just like vibes about it. It's awesome. So, yeah, we'll get going.
Welcome. This is Stan Lee of Marvel Comics warning you to look around you. Your classmates, your friends. You never know which one of them may be a mutant. A person born with strange and wondrous powers. Now, some mutants, like the X-Men, use their special gifts for good. But then there are the terrorist mutants who plan to destroy the human race.
Mutants. I hate them. Take this mutie we're hauling tonight, for example. He's too dangerous to live.
I am Magneto. Release me. I command it.
I've never seen anything like it. His power.
He's a mutant. A stinking mutant. He doesn't deserve to live on the same planet as normal, decent human beings. When the Brotherhood of Mutant Terrorists and I are through, humans will no longer have a place on planet Earth.
Why, you rotten...
Colonel Chaffee, come in, please!
The convoy! It's sinking!
Men are so helpless against the mental powers of the White Queen.
We're in the middle of a highway. There's no water.
Not water, sir! It's the highway itself! I know it sounds crazy, but it's turning into quicksand!
Quicksand? Quicksand? Why, what kind of a fool are you?
Magneto, your deliverance is at hand.
Hold it, mutant. What are you doing? Swatting a gnat. Whoa!
Colonel Chaffee! Colonel Chaffee! Colonel, are you all right, sir?
With that murderous mutant on the loose, son, none of us are gonna be all right.
Driver, would you...
I'm muted. I was saying, dude, he looks so menacing right there. Like that frame right there of Magneto. I think they did a really good job of portraying like Magneto in the show. I in some ways actually kind of prefer this art style over the 90s one.
Driver, would you wait here for me?
Forget it, kid. This place gives me the creeps.
Gives me the creeps, too.
Dear Miss Pride, it has come to my attention that you have a mutant power, the ability to walk through solid matter. I believe you call it phasing.
Hello? Is anyone here?
This way, Miss Pride?
What are you?
Don't be startled. My mind is projecting an image of myself for you to follow. I am Professor Charles Xavier, also known as Professor X. I and those who have joined me are known as the X-Men.
X-Men? But I thought the X-Men were...
Mutants? Yes.
But how do you know about what I can do? All the things you mentioned in this letter, no one knows, not even my parents.
This is Cerebro, a powerful computer with a special circuit which can detect the unique brainwaves emitted by mutants. That is how I found you.
Then I really am a mutant. I'm a freak.
No, my dear, we mutants are not freaks.
I don't understand, and I'm afraid too.
At one point, we were all afraid, Kitty. Come, we'll meet the others. This is the control center for the Danger Room. And
The Danger Room
is the Danger Room itself, where the X-Men train to improve their mutant skills by engaging in simulated combat, provided by a combination of holograms and robotics. This is Scott Summers, better known as Cyclops. His eyes shoot concentrated beams of pure energy. Next is Peter Rasputin. His codename is Colossus. Don't worry, Kitty, as Colossus Peter is impervious to harm.
He's good.
Next, meet Allison Blair, the Dazzler. She can transform sound into powerful bolts of light.
I don't know if that's similar or like a different Dazzler. I think that's like a different take on her. I'm not entirely sure, but that is Dazzler apparently.
Oh, who's that?
Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler has mastered the art of line-of-sight teleportation. That's Wolverine, with razor-like adamantium claws. They're sharp enough to slice through almost any substance known to man.
Dude, I really like that shot of Wolverine right here. I'll show you.
With razor-like adamantium claws.
Ooh, I just missed it. That one right there. I like that shot of Wolverine.
Claws. They're sharp enough to slice through almost any substance known to man.
That was a good shot too, right there, of Wolverine.
Now we meet Storm, whose mutant ability to control weather itself is still not completely understood. Finally, as for me, I have the ability to see into people's minds.
Their minds?
Oh, don't worry, child. I don't use my gift recklessly. I think you'll find my X-Men a very pleasant group once you get to know them, Miss Pride.
Scott, I have someone up here I'd like you all to meet.
Sure thing, Professor.
Ah, Fräulein, what a lovely vision you are. Please allow me.
Professor?
Kitty, you're phasing. X-Men, welcome Kitty Pryde.
I'm sorry. I guess I phased through the computer.
She has the power to walk through solid objects, a power known as phasing.
Kate! Oh, it is good, little one. Colossus like rain.
Fräulein, you left before I could properly welcome you.
Welcome her. Wait, she's not joining the X-Men, is she? She's just a kid.
I always thought that was so hilarious. Wolverine sounds like he's supposed to be Canadian, but he sounds like he's like some like Cockney accent. That's like the one part I've heard a lot of feedback about this cartoon was like the voice for Wolverine does like not match him at all. It's just hilarious.
Kids! It is good, little one. Colossus
Kids!
rain.
Fräulein, you left before I could properly welcome you.
Welcome her. Wait, she's not joining the X-Men, is she? She's just a kid.
Wolverine, can't you see the girl is scared? Don't you remember what it was like when you first discovered you were a mutant?
Back off! Just don't want to have to witness some little...
So if you don't know if you caught that, you know, even though Wolverine is rough around the edges, he actually says right here, I don't know if you can pick it up on it.
Back off! Just don't want to have to witness some little...
He says, I don't want to have to witness some little, basically her getting hurt, right? Like he's not just trying to be an ass to be an ass. Like he just makes sure, he wants to make sure she doesn't get hurt. Her being involved with the X-Men, basically.
What's that?
Red alarm. It's a mutant alert. Our training session's over. We're needed.
Let's go! Wait for me!
Well, friend, they fell for it. You may begin, Juggernaut. All right. And let nothing stand in your way.
Who are those people?
Magneto, master of magnetism. And I'm sorry to say my stepbrother, Juggernaut.
You know them?
Yes, it is the X-Men's sworn duty to protect mankind by battling Magneto and his evil terrorist mutants. If Magneto should win, the human race will become slaves of the evil mutants.
Kitty, you're scrambling Cerebro's defensive circuits.
That's the second time Kitty's like messed up the circuits or does something on the computer. She really needs to get away. You know what I mean?
They're inside the mansion. What do we do?
Magneto cannot hide his thoughts from me. What he wants is Cerebro's mutant power circuit.
Can we stop him?
We're about to find out. Quickly, child, take it. Protect the circuit at all costs.
What's wrong, Charlie? No warm welcome for your dear stepbrother?
You've always been welcome in my home, Kane. It's your choice of friends I question.
Juggernaut has chosen his friends well, Xavier. the mutant power circuit. Give it to me, girl. Kitty, phase out. Use your power, Kitty. Give it to me now or suffer later. Where do you think you're going, dear stepbrother? My child, you are being foolish. Normal humans hate you for being what you are. Why not join me?
No! Normal humans and mutants don't have to be enemies. I'll never join you. Never!
That's too bad, my dear. Truly tragic, yes. The world is mine.
Yeah, that was interesting. I thought those little cords and cables were going to do something a bit more unsettling, but I don't know if it was something they didn't establish till later, but the whole part of the reason why Magneto wears that helmet is so Professor Xavier can't read his mind. Early on, Professor Xavier read Magneto's mind through the helmet. That's actually why Juggernaut Juggernaut wears it for protection, but also to help prevent his mind being read by Professor Xavier as well. I'm just going to run through comments here for like 10 seconds. I think Todd will go to 400, Rizzo to 800. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention to those two, but yeah, they've been going down quite a bit. I think it's just because people stacked a lot of those early on, so now they're just dumping them for liquidity. And yes, that's exactly what Wolverine sounds like, Canadians in general. Almost sounds like My Collectibles, right? In a way. And then Dazzler, yes.
Meanwhile, unaware of Magneto's attack on their headquarters, the X-Men race to the Deep Space Observatory for a showdown with Magneto's deadly allies, the Blob and Pyro.
The fire! It's coming closer!
What do you want? Nothing. Just take over Earth.
Now, Blob. After all, once we get the tracking coordinates for the Scorpio comet, his world will...
His world will what, Pyro?
Ah! We've been expecting you.
Expecting us? Colossus take care of this. No power on Earth can move the Blob.
Back off, X-Men!
Please help us! Let the hostages go, Pyro! This doesn't concern them!
Wrong, Ruby Eyes! In 2 days, it'll concern every human on Earth.
Wait till I get my claws on him. He'll be talking out the other side. Look
out! Pyro's actually Australian. So Pyro's actually from Australia. That's why he had the accent. But like Wolverine, I loved his comment where he's like, I'm going to slice him up and they're going to talk through the other side or something like that. Thought that was hilarious.
Thank you.
Hey, stay away, you filthy mutants!
Blob and Pyro got what they came for.
Whatever it was, it poses a threat to the whole human race.
Those mutants are in there! Cover all the exits!
That's our cue. Let's go! Hang on, everyone!
As the computer tracking system locked onto the comet.
Yes, Master. Everything is ready, just as you ordered.
Excellent. Place Cerebro's power circuit in the magnetron. Get away from me, beast.
I don't know what that thing is.
Scorpio is now in range.
That little dragon thing. I don't know what that is.
I did it, Master. I did good, didn't I?
Yes, Toad. Now make yourself useful. Go play in an airlock.
All right, Master. Okay, play in the airlock. Ooh, come here.
Professor? Kitty? Professor X?
Here! I found him!
Where should I put him?
I always liked this part. Cyclops uses his fucking beam to clear off the rocks on the table. Like, why not just push it away or use the storm's air instead of using his explosive laser eyes to get rid of the rocks?
Kitty, where's Kitty?
Kitty!
No! No! Get away from me! Kitty, it's okay. You're safe now. Then it's all been real.
Of course it's all been real. Get with it. The X-Men don't have room for whiny brats.
Just who are you calling whiny? I'll show you.
Hold it, Kitty. Wolverine may not be Mr. Sunshine, but he isn't your enemy.
That's right. Magneto's the enemy.
Magneto. Professor X. Where is he? Is he all right?
Yes, Kitty, I'm fine.
Professor! Professor! Oh, I'm so happy to see you. But I failed you. I failed you all. Magneto has the circuit.
You didn't fail, my child.
None of us would have had a chance alone against Magneto.
We must discover exactly what Magneto is up to before it's too late.
That transition, though. Full transition.
The power circuit works. I can feel the energy, the power.
I have located Magneto. The power.
The power!
Professor!
I've done it! I've captured the Scorpio comet! In less
Right?
than a day, most of the human race will be wiped out. The mutants will rule the Earth!
This is it, true believers. Unless the X-Men can stop Magneto, mankind is doomed.
What's happened? Are you all right?
What is it? Magneto. He's changed the course of the comet Scorpio directly towards Earth. The power. It hit me like a fist.
If Scorpio strikes Earth, it'll send up a cloud of dust and debris, which will block out the sun for years.
And our planet will be plunged into the Ice Age.
And we've got to stop it.
Man, if only we had a mutant that could like control the weather. I don't know what Magneto's plan was to like throw a comet in the Earth, thinking like mutants aren't immune to a, basically multiples, thousands of nuclear bombs worth of just a comet hitting Earth. I don't know what his plan was, but oh well.
The kid stays.
Plunged into the Ice Age.
And we've got to stop it.
Hold it. The kid stays here. She'll just get in the way.
I will not. And stop calling me a kid. I am 14 years old.
I'm sorry, Kitty, but Wolverine's right. You haven't been trained. It's much too dangerous. You'll stay here.
Exactly.
Later, my child.
Oh, yeah? I'll show you. I'll show you all.
Like how Storm's like, oh no, what I say, just like, you control the weather. Just make an area where it doesn't happen, you know, I'm sure you could figure something out, but Wolverine sounds awesome. Yeah, that was the joke I made earlier. People are like, it sounds way off. He sounds like he's Cockney or just something unusual, but and of course I feel like in a lot of these shows there has to be that one really angsty, obnoxious, you know, teenager or whatever that's always around, but
It's reported to be the comet Scorpio. Until a few short hours ago, it was only a harmless scientific curiosity. If Scorpio comes any closer, it will mean disaster.
Professor, we're now in a parking orbit.
All right, suit up.
bro, they're going in space?
When I blow the airlock, we'll need your powers to keep the atmosphere inside the asteroid.
Check.
You can come out now. You were told to remain at the mansion.
I couldn't. It's my fault Magneto has the power circuit. I've got to help stop him.
What you plan to do is very dangerous.
I have to help. The world Magneto wants to destroy is my world too. Oh, Professor, wish me luck.
Good luck, my dear. Good luck to us all.
Wolverine, once inside, will lead us to Magneto. Are we going to talk about this all day or do it? We're gonna do it.
I also don't know how Cyclops shot a beam through his glass visor thingy, but you know, whatever.
The X-Men. Stop them!
This way!
G'day! Welcome to Asteroid M! Don't you just love a good Barbie?
Leave this one to the Dazzler.
Also, if you notice, Wolverine's the only one out of costume, like out of the space costume. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just Wolverine without his costume. It's not Wolverine until he's in that suit, but just something I noticed.
Which way now?
This way, kiddies! If you can!
Don't worry about us, Dingo. I'll make sure we can.
managed to get past our little welcome.
That was a good wrestling move.
But you go no further.
This part's really cool. I always like this.
Who is going to stop us? Me, Juggernaut.
Gentlemen, welcome.
This is where you'll stop. Nothing moves the blob.
And I wouldn't dream of trying. Auf Wiedersehen.
Let go.
Hello, Nightcrawler. Fascinating, isn't it? Earth shall be destroyed in precisely 3 minutes.
Not if I can help it.
Ah, but you can't. No one can.
Farewell, X-Man.
The dragon got some vengeance.
The circuit. You made me break the circuit. Now nothing can change the comet's course.
Kitty, strike now! Magneto's in position! Nightcrawler, the circuit! Your own body is recharging the circuit. Now we can use Magneto's own power to change the comet's course.
You blundering juvenile. Do you have any idea what you've done?
Yes, I've just stopped a madman from destroying the Earth. And now Scorpio will destroy this base instead.
But you still lose. Nightcrawler's own body must continue to complete that circuit, or the comet will change course back to Earth. Although you've won, Nightcrawler must die!
Nightcrawler! Is it true what he said?
Kitty, get everyone off the asteroid at once!
But I can't leave you! Not after the way I...
Go now!
Kitty, join the others. Quickly, I have a plan. Nightcrawler, listen to me. I'll keep the Blackbird on your view screen. Your timing must be flawless. You'll have to teleport just before the comet hits. Do you understand?
Of course, Professor.
Now, Nightcrawler, now! You've waited too long!
He's gone. There. He's alive.
Not for long. He's entering the Earth's atmosphere. He'll burn up.
Not if we can get the grappling beams to him.
Ooh, gotta get the grappling beams.
Hurry! It's getting plenty warm in this suit!
Fire the grappling beams!
Where is he? Professor?
He's gone.
No. He can't be dead. He just can't be. No! I was so mean to him. Now I can never make it up to him.
I just can't believe it. Nightcrawler is... What's that?
Back there!
Nightcrawler, my little Tovarish. You're not dead after all, no? I would hope not. But I would have been, if not for Kitty Pride.
Thank you. That was the bravest, most unselfish thing I've ever seen in my life. Don't you agree?
Well, Wolverine, you were against Kitty being a member of the team. What do you think now?
So the kid got lucky. That don't make her an X-Man. Not yet.
Compliment right there when Wolverine says not yet, you know?
Yes, the X-Men have won, but only for now. Magneto is still out there, waiting, planning, plotting the destruction of the human race. But whatever the challenge, whatever the peril, the X-Men will be there.
We'll watch the outro. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty cool, right? That's a pretty cool episode. I'm surprised. I totally. So that was the X-Men pilot in 1989. They aired one episode. They did it, like you saw, like a bit like a Super Nintendo like video game. They did an arcade game. They did all kinds of like merch around it, and it just like never took off, and they just stopped. And it wasn't until years and years later then they actually did the 90s version. So this was like a one and done episode. It's called Pride of the X-Men. So it's like this. It's Pride of the, that's how you spell, but that's Pride of the X-Men. If you just YouTube it, it's on a bunch of channels and you can watch. That's essentially what I just did. Yeah, you can just watch it for free. It's really, really cool. Let's play this. So cool little watch party. Of course there were some inconsistencies, right? They said, what's it called? Nightcrawler he mastered line of sight teleportation, meaning in my mind, it means you have to see where you're going in order for you to teleport. He kind of broke that rule twice, where first of all, that's like a 5-head idea by Professor Xavier. He's like, oh, I'll just put the Blackbird on the view screen while he's like getting shocked. I'll put the Blackbird there so you can teleport there, like outside, which technically isn't line of sight. And that idea, he could just look at a picture of like Egypt or something like that and just teleport across the world, right? I don't know what that logic. Also too, when he was getting burned up in the atmosphere, he kind of just appeared in the locker. Like there's no line of sight there. Maybe that's his way of, they didn't need to explain in that episode, but maybe that's his way of, because I think eventually Nightcrawler learns how to teleport without line of sight. Eventually he kind of learns to like hone his skills where he doesn't have to see where he's going, but maybe that was just the early stages of his powers. But yeah, like Jeff said, like the animation's really good. In some ways, I actually kind of like the animation on that one a bit better. There were some like really, really cool, actually, let me pull it up again. If I can. There were some shots of some characters that I actually like really enjoyed on there. Let's see if I can find it. I have to re-pull up the video again. All right, bear with me. I'll pull it up again. It's muted, but there's a couple scenes or just like pictures of some characters that I really, really liked. Like this scene right here, like the way Professor X not Professor X, but the way Magneto looks. And this scene right here when he's like flying away. Like that menacing look right there, like he looks pretty scary, dude. Like no joke. Like especially in that one right there, and then when they first kind of show Wolverine as well. Need to go back. Like that picture is really cool. I really like that image right there of Wolverine. And I don't know why, there's just like extra detail around his face and stuff. The arts, I really like the art style. It's definitely more like, I don't know, in some ways I like the art style more in this one than the other one. But yeah, that was the X-Men pilot. Hinano says that was badass. It was badass, right? My wife does not believe in space. Owe me to the dollar. Owe me to $1, please. Why did they change it? This was cool. I don't know what happened. If I did enough research, I could probably find out. I will do a watch party tomorrow of the first episode, just the first episode. I think it's called Night of the Sentinels, of the new X-Men that everyone talks about. I mean, I'll give you a sneak peek here on it. Let me see here. Let's see. I'll just play at least the intro, and we'll watch the I'll at least play the intro, and then we're gonna watch the first episode tomorrow. But
on X-Men.
That's typically the X-Men. That's typically the one that people think about when they think about X-Men and stuff like that. That's the X-Men cartoon. That's the one that came out in 1992. So October 31st, 1992. So basically 3 years later, after the flop that happened of that the other X-Men cartoon, then they came out with that one that we just saw. Getting ourselves here a little bit. There we go. Introduction of Jubilee. Yep. Yeah, they definitely, and I think that's how they're going to use Kamala Khan and the new like Marvel's kind of, MCU. They're going to use her as kind of like the new Jubilee. She's kind of the outsider's perspective of, she's going to be the one asking all the questions like, what is a mutant? Why weren't we found about sooner and all that? She's going to be the kind of the perspective of like the audience, right? Kind of the outsider looking in on the whole world of mutants and X-Men and all that stuff. So we're probably not going to obviously have Jubilee for the movies, but we're going to have, I think she's going to be playing like a Jubilee-esque kind of character. The theme song is very iconic. Juggernaut, one of my favorite villains. Best theme song. It is great. The other one's not bad too. I'll play the, let's see here. All right, give me a sec. All right, one more time. I'll play the intro of the other one more time. The other one definitely has, I don't know what to call it, like a certain charm to it as well. Like after the first time you hear it, you're kind of like, okay, whatever. Like it's pretty good, but it's not the classic X-Men, but it still sounds really good. I'll play it again. All right, one more time. Then we'll go back to normal stuff. Pretty good. Pretty fuego. That one's got a catchy theme song turn. Oh, sorry, that one's got a catchy theme song too, as well. So I really like that one as well. The 89 version definitely has a vibe to it. You know what is the worst theme song? Dragon Ball Z. It's just repeating the name. I'm trying to think of some other ones. What are some like bad intro songs? Some iconic ones too. I don't know. I know Digimon was kind of interesting. It's like Digimon, digital monsters. Diction drop info on the app now. Oh, is it? Well, we have it here, but are you talking about on here? Let's go back. Oh, it's right there. Take a look. See. Actually, I have to refresh to see here. It's in 4 days. 4 days, 17 hours. That's on Thursday, right? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's sometime Thursday. So I think it's Thursday at 11, right? Read more on the blog. There's the blog. Yep, October 10 a.m. Thursday, October 12th. I haven't really... So I watched Dragon Ball Z a long time ago, but even then, I didn't watch all of it. I think I watched the first... like 10 episodes, but like, what's his name? Goku, Gohan, whatever the hell is the little kid, just the crying over and over. And it got so obnoxious. I'm like, dude, I just can't. I've been meaning to watch like the abridged version of Dragon Ball just so I can like get through it faster. But I have not watched it yet. Like Dragon Ball all the way through. Right now I'm watching, I'm almost, I think I have one season left. I think I'm on the last season. Either the last season or second to last season of The Expanse. Once I finish that, then maybe I'll go back to anime or something like that, and I'll start binge watching that stuff. But no, I really like this addiction comic. 6 gems is a good price. Good thing they did put it at like 10 or some like odd amount. Veve exclusive. I mean, is this the first time we've actually had like a Veve name on the cover of like a comic? I think so. So I think this might sell out. And if it doesn't, I think there's going to be people to keep buying this over and over and over and over. I think this one's going to sell out It might not sell it like immediately, but like when the rebounds come in, people are going to click buy, yes, buy, yes, buy. I think there are going to be people that are going to do that just so they can get the secret rare, or at least like all the different covers, right? I think everyone's going to be shooting for obviously the ultra rare and the uncommon, right? That's kind of the goal for everybody. This might be one of the very few cases where like the ultra rare is going to be like higher than like the rare, or not the ultra, but like the uncommon is going to be like higher than the rare or something weird, right? I could see that. I've been wanting to try The Expanse. It's really good. First season, the first few episodes are really compelling. It starts slowing down a bit just because it's trying to build up a lot of the kind of like world and just kind of like building a foundation of kind of the relationships and connections between different people and kind of the different worlds, essentially, more or less. So first couple episodes, great. Afterward, when everything kind of starts settling and then you kind of start exploring more of the world and all that stuff, it's not the world, but just the universe, the overall kind of like plot, it starts slowing down a little bit. First season is still great. The other seasons are awesome too. But yeah, I like it. I think it has 6 seasons as far as I know. I think I don't know if I just ended season 5 or I just started season 6. I've been watching, I think I started season 1 probably about 2 weeks ago, and right now I've just been like binge watching it. I'll typically watch like 2 seasons in like a week or something like that, so I'm kind of getting to that point now. Yeah, these are the 2 physical comics that are going to be there. So FA Hulk dumping seems to have slowed down. 43 holding strong. Yeah, it got as low as to like 36 at one point. It got really low. Pasternak, I think it's Pasternak 88. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but it's a great show. The universe and lore is immersive. The Rocinante is a badass gunship too. Yeah. The Rocinante, the Rossi. I do like the name. At first I didn't like the name. I'm like, that's kind of whatever, but it grows on you. It grows on you for sure. The Rossi. If only we got, oh my gosh, what's that cult classic sci-fi show that only ran like Firefly? If only we got like another season of Firefly. Firefly is also really good too. It's an oldie but a goodie. Slavs. Firefly is another, it's like a cult classic popular sci-fi movie. Only 1 season, but very, very good, very immersive and interesting characters. It's unfortunate it didn't get a 2nd season, but I really like that show too. So look forward to see what happens to these addiction physicals at New York Comic Con. They will sell it fast. I think so. I'm gonna like beeline it to there. I might have to talk with my collectibles or whoever else I'm kind of like hanging out with or traveling with to be like, yeah, when we get there, we need to beeline it here. You know, obviously we'll play the drop in the morning, but we need to beeline it there and grab a physical. It's the workhorse, the Rocinante. Firefly is another great show. The Serenity. I think I started Serenity, but I don't think I ever finished it. That's the movie, right? Or is that a show? I feel like I started it. That's another show that's kind of like linked to it, but I would say start with Firefly just because it's 1 season. You can get that knocked out in a weekend if you just like binge watch it. So I would start with Firefly, and then obviously it's in today's terms, obviously another great one, if you could find a way to actually find it, is obviously Battlestar Galactica, the 2002 version. Is that the year it came out? That's probably the first show I legitimately lost an insane amount of sleep on. 2004 is when it came out. That's the first show that I legitimately lost a ton of sleep on because I was binge watching it in college. I was, playing football at the time, and I'd practice at like 6:30 a.m. or I should say I had weightlifting at like 6 a.m. And there'd be times I would stay up till like 2 a.m. like watching the show. I'm like, dude, what am I doing? I have practiced weightlifting in 4 hours, and I'm still watching the show. And I pretty much destroyed my sleep schedule for like a solid month watching that show. But it was worth every minute of it. So that's another great one. It's one of those ones where the first season, first few episodes, I always tell people, I'm like, watch the first 2 episodes, and if you hate it, you never have to watch it again. But usually by the 2nd episode, by the end, you're hooked, and you will want to watch the rest. And first season's great, 2nd season's okay, then it starts doing a little bit of a what do you call it? What was that show with the island and all like the weird mysteries and stuff like that? It was like one of the very like early popular like shows on like Netflix and stuff. But long story short, it starts just kind of going off the rails a bit, and it starts getting a little too it starts getting off of what it used to be grounded in. Let's just say Lost. Yes, thank you. It starts kind of going into like the direction of Lost did, where there's a lot of, I don't want to spoil anything, but just like superstitious stuff, and it starts going off on a tangent. I'm not a huge fan of that. It just kind of started getting a bit weird towards the tail end of it. Cool, I'll keep Firefly in mind. Yep, that's one you can watch all of it in probably about 10 hours, you know. Battlestar Galactica is one of the best. Yes, I have not seen like the originals, but yeah, it starts, I think Hinano, you can probably agree, like the last, I forgot how many seasons there are. Let me see here. It has 4 seasons. I would say the first season's the best. Second season's really good, and the season 3 and 4 starts going off on like a weird just side thing. I have no idea. If they drop Juggernaut in the same art style as Professor X and Magneto, I'll be a happy camper. Yeah. The biggest bro was in Lost? No, he wasn't. I think I know what are you talking about this actor? Bitcoin back to 28K. Nice. I have not, honestly, for whatever reason, I have not been keeping track of Omi or Bitcoin or anything recently. So if it's kind of pumped up recently, I have not noticed it, just because just been kind of busy with work and, you know, X-Men and Veve announcements and hanging out on streams, whether it's you know, the Uncommon podcast or my collectibles stream this morning and all that stuff. So yeah, let me just like check on it now. Yeah, if we get Juggernaut the way he looks like in the cartoon, let's see here. Yeah, if we get Juggernaut and he's looking like this, that's pretty awesome. Actually, let me do this. Maybe it's not the best picture of him, but you know what I mean. Any of these versions of him. In some way, I kind of like the slightly more compact helmet that he had in the other X-Men that we watched. I just had it here. If I type in 89 in here from the 89 cartoon. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of Juggernaut. Did you guys know that Juggernaut's not actually a mutant? Yeah, this version of him, it's kind of hard to see, but like the slightly more compact helmet, I actually don't mind that look at all. But you guys know that Juggernaut's not actually a mutant. He actually has some superpowers from Juggernaut, like deity, god, kind of thing. So he's actually not a mutant. I like the Battlestar Galactica episode in season 3 where they rescued the colonists by jumping the ship into the atmosphere. I'm trying to remember that. That sounds super familiar, but I'm sure if I saw the episode, I'd recognize it immediately. Bitcoin is holding above 27K, support in spite of negativity in the markets. Someone is buying. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype around the Bitcoin ETF and the halving is happening next year, right? So there is that as well. FA Harley Quinn is below drop price, 56 gems, crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We'll go over it here real quick. Let's do collectibles, release date, and we'll just flip it. So this is all pretty much like the original black and white series stuff, right? Like Todd, Rizzo, Becky Cloonan, Joe, Jason Fabek. Like there's a lot of stuff. You can actually see it. So this is the drop price. I don't know if you guys can, if I like really zoom, there we go. This is super zoomed in, but at least you guys can see. So Jim Lee Joker, is below box price. Joker was 80 gems on drop. Now he's going for 78. Ben Mertens is below retail, so he was 13. Now he's 12 and a half. There's a lot of stuff below retail, even some of the OG stuff, right? Joker is kind of crazy. Not all New York pizza is good. Yeah, it's just like anything else, right? It's like going to California and getting a, you know, either, I guess you can kind of argue sushi, but it's probably more for like, you know, for Mexican food, right? Like if you go to California and you just get like a taco or like a California burrito or whatever it is, it's like, depends on where you get it. I have a couple friends here that grew up on the East Coast or that have visited there multiple times, and they I'll have to ask them for a recommendation on like where to get some pizza. We're also kind of limited by, I'm gonna get something around the convention. I'm not gonna go on the other side of Manhattan for a slice of pizza. I don't have pizza too often. Maybe every other month. I just don't really, it's just kind of pricey. So it's probably maybe once a month, every other month, something like that. Powerpuff Girls is kind of getting there, not really. Like Buttercup was 13 gems, now she's 32 on drop. But yeah, F.A. Harley, like you mentioned, Slavs, she is 59 gems. She was 60 gems on the drop. Now she's 57. So it's kind of crazy to see some of these like really, really old school throwback drops, right? Look at BMO. Dude, 8 gems for this guy? He's cute looking. He looks like a Game Boy. Like, maybe not a bad pickup. He was 15. Now he's going for 8. How many mints are there of this guy? 7,500? That's maybe part of the reason why. Dude, so a lot of these collectibles, crazy to think about it, are going to be like 3 years old. Coming up in December, a lot of these collectibles have been on the app for 3 years. Like Todd is going to be the date that it says it dropped. See, yeah, I don't see the date on here. I mean, if you guys see it, let me know. But I don't see like the actual date, at least on this page. Kind of crazy. We'll go to the next page, see what else is super cheap. Is this zoom in fine for you guys? Like, is it actually helpful when it's zoomed in this much so you can actually see what the hell's going on? Ask around and do a bit of research for a good New York pizza. All right. Yeah, I'll have to look around. Maybe I'll look up on Yelp and ask the locals too. I mean, I'm not gonna have just one pizza on one day. I'll probably have pizza probably twice, 2 or 3 times. Get a hot dog, get a coffee, get a bagel. You don't call it pizza. Hey, where can I get a pie? Lived in New York for 15 years. Pizza places take advantage of tourists thinking all my pizza is good. Thinking all my pizza is good. Yeah. Or NY. I think you meant NY. I'm like, my pizza, what? All New York pizza is good. I figured you can't. It's impossible to compare, you know, all pizza places, all Mexican food places, all sushi, all whatever. Like, it's not all the same. Ray's Pizza in New York, is that the one that's on every other street? Maybe. Todd dropped October 20. Okay, yeah. So this was, yeah. Like, isn't October? Do we know the date exactly? Actually, let's just look it up here. I don't know why sometimes. Have the date here? Oh, October 14th. You know what's crazy? Yeah, this time, yeah, a week from today, Todd is going to be 3 years old on the app. That'll be an interesting post to make. That will be an interesting post to make. Okay, let's go up to the top here. What else is like below retail? Dude, I remember Starfire was also like another really cool one. Jubilee, yep. $1 pizza, New York. Yeah, I knew what you meant. It's all right. Starfire Donnie still sporting 17K. How many mints are there of him again? Only 150. Yeah. Bubbles 1800. Jeez. If you guys want Princess Bubblegum, she's going for less than 10 gems. Professor Utonium, him. Yeah, a lot of these drops are just a bit weird. Dude, you know what I've never thought about in a long time is the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Never thought about this guy. He's going for 40 gems. little just shy of 3,000 or sorry 4,000 mints. Honestly, this guy's legitimately never crossed my mind. At least in the last year and a half. You know, nothing against him, but it's just like not top of mind at all. This is another Harley Quinn. More Harley. Yeah, this is kind of the start of the whole Harley series. Of course, Steve Pugh Harley Quinn is also like a big fan with the VVOGs. Same thing with Nightwing. Nightwing's another popular one. He's only going for 180 gems. He was going for 90. Dude, I actually have a lot of respect for a lot of the early adopters because each drop is its own box price, right? So these three Batmans right here, these are all different prices. I think these all dropped at the same time. So it's like you can get Darwin Cook for $40, Gary Frank for 50, Jay Lee for 60, or Jim Lee for 90. Like, those box prices would never fly nowadays. Back then, like the early days of that, like people were paying, you know, 40 to 90 gems per drop, which is crazy to think about. Nowadays, if we had to drop somewhere to this, we would just be like, all right, 50 gem blind box, whatever you get, right? Whatever it is. Which is probably smarter because I think people are more inclined to just go for the blind box because it's still 50 gems across the board, right? Whether you do 40 and 60, that's still an average of 50. So just do 50 across the board. Why have one be super cheap and then it'll be higher? I mean, that's just the early days of EV. So they just probably didn't realize. Blind box wasn't a thing till later, if I can remember correctly. Ultraman Ace, another big one. These are all below retail except for Ultraman Ace. This one on the far left, the rare. This one's going for 93 gems. The rest of these are going for like 30 or whatever. So, Cool Mo, what's up, dude? Dude, it's been a while. I feel like it's been a long while since we've talked. I worked with a retired New York cop. He said, Pastries Pizzeria is the best. Maybe we could plan a meetup with a bunch of people. Yeah, if you do something on Twitter or like X, tag a bunch of people. I have no idea. I'm just kind of go with the flow. If there's like too many plans and too many things going on, I might just end up just doing what I want. Me and my collectibles are probably going to hang out for an okay amount of the time together. So we'll probably obviously split up and do our own thing occasionally. But I don't know. If there's like too many people pulling in too many different directions, I'm just going to be like, whatever. I'm just going to do my own thing. But yeah, I would like to keep it, you know, within a mile, maybe two of like the convention center. I'm not trying to take an Uber or do a 2.5 mile walk to a pizza place to just have pizza. King Ultra Rare, just shy of 1,200 editions, 59 James FA Steel. Yeah, he's going to be a big, obviously he has been already a big player in Marvel. Obviously it's kind of hard because he's pretty much in the shadow of Thanos, right? Like it's really hard to top a villain that they've been building up to for like nearly a decade, and then Kang kind of shows up and is like this multiversal threat within like 2 years. But it is what it is. I do think it's a good collectible to pick up. It's not one I would go after personally, just because I just like X-Men a lot. But we can look really quickly at. I think we're kind of done with that. So if Kang, I'm just curious what some other options are, at least collectible wise. Rick was in the store for a while post drop. I picked up a couple at 40. Yep. I think everyone walks into New York City. Can't be fast and Uber. That's what I figured. So, and that's the other thing too. Like I figured I'm going to do a lot of walking, which I don't mind. But I just don't want to walk 2.5, 3 miles for a slice. 2 is probably my max. And if I'm with a large group of people and we're shooting the shit the whole time, it's probably tolerable. But so Kang, yeah, ultra rare. I kind of wish they had like renamed these instead of Kang 1, Kang 2. But for 60 gems, just for the heck of it, right? What are some other collectibles you can get between 55 to 65 gems? You know, way less mints. You know, obviously FA Harley's a big one, but she has 7,500 mints. Thought I saw a zombie. Yeah, this is the ultra rare. What? Ultra rare Zombie Hunter Spider-Man? Is that the higher rarity one? Yeah, because the other one's like 9 gems. So yeah, I guess it's, you know, if you want to pay 5 gems more, you can get like a Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Let's do it on floor price. Let's just flip this. You get a potion, you get a that. Another Batman. You can get a Lambo. Get a Romulan. You can get the flying avocado. Or a flying, yeah, avocado. Tarzan. Kang is there. Rare Luke. You know, sometimes I do this whenever I'm about to like buy something. I just kind of look at see what my options are, right? At least around the same gem price. And then you can even look at stuff between, you know, 20 to 30 gems, and you're looking like, all right, what are some things I can buy 2 or 3 of instead of this one thing? You know, it's, you know, people could do whatever they want. People have different fandoms. I'm just not big on Kang. Personally, I might pick one up at some point, but it's not one I would hard stack. Going to the logo parties Thursday, Friday. Will you be there? I don't have a logo. I do actually need to hit up a couple people to see if I can get access in there. I have talked to Veve Magic, and she can maybe help me get into like one of them or something like that. But the other one, I might have to ask for like permission to get in for the most part. Hulk, Joe Mad. Yeah, I remember Joe Mad was also. I like the Joe Mad Batman. He's actually one of my favorite ones. Just his stance and the way he's drawn and everything like that. I've always liked that style. Joe Mad. Let's have it in there. Here. I've always liked Joe Mad. I always like that stance where he's like kind of a crouched down, and the bulky gloves are a little bit off, but he looks like he'll just like punch you in the face, you know? I don't know. Like the Todd Batman's extremely iconic, right? Obviously, but I feel like these other Batmans were drawn in a way where I feel like they could actually like take you down. All right, we've been streaming for a little over 2 hours now, or about 2 hours. So I'm actually going to hop off here pretty soon, do a couple things. I do need to do more research on just like things to do at Comic-Con that are Veve related, things that are non-Veve related that I want to kind of check out and hang out with, and kind of make like a small schedule and all that stuff. So yeah, this Batman, I like Rizzo. I've always liked Joe. Becky Cloonan's also another really cool one too. That style, it's almost like a mix between like Todd and like maybe not Joe Mad, but I also like Jason Fabok a lot too. I like that style a lot. I just don't see myself buying a bunch of Batmans or whatever. Maybe I will at some point. You know, at the end of the day, all it really takes is for you to get lucky on like one big drop, right? And if you want to sell it, or if it's just something you're not interested in, you know, there's probably someone out there that's not a big X-Men fan, right? They land the secret rare comic, they sell it for $1,000. Let's just, you know, be conservative here. They sell it for $1,000 flat, whatever. And now it's like, oh wow, I have $1,000. Now I can buy what? Todd, Joe Mad, Becky. You can buy pretty much all these you can probably buy one of the two. You can't buy Rizzo. He's already at 1,000 flat. But like you could basically with 1,000 buy, someone's like an insane Batman fan, like Todd, Joe, Becky, Jason, Dick, Amanda. Like you can buy all these and Harley Quinn and Joker. You could buy all of those. Pretty much like almost the entire, like, again with the exception of Rizzo, but like pretty much buy, and then obviously Robin down here. There's Robin, and then also Carmine, I guess, is also different. So what's better, SR Luke or 2-digit animated rare? I'm not a huge mint number person. I think it just, if you ever did want to sell it, it just really restricts the amount of buyers you have. But at the end of the day, I mean, all you need is one person, right? You don't need 5,000 people interested in your collectible. All you need is one person. That's a huge Luke fan, right? That's up to you. I'm more of just a floor mint guy. I think it's much easier to liquidate like an SR Luke if needed. Though animated rare, I mean the rare animated is cool too. So I don't know. Like low mint stuff is so subjective that like you have to find the right buyer, right? And if you just don't have the right buyer, like everyone understands floor price. But if we're talking 2-digit mints or some unique mint numbers, like it's so subjective that, you know, if you find the right buyer, perfect, you made a huge profit. But I feel like it just, for me, I've tried it a couple times, and it's just way more effort than it's worth, in my opinion, to kind of like hunt people and try to convince them that it's a good mint number and blah blah or what. Like I don't know, that's just not my thing. Cool Mo, sweet. See you there. Thursday is going to be intense, not going to con, just the parties. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Not going to the con. It's probably good to save a bit of money and just go to the party, just hang out with everyone. Joe Matt is one of the most overlooked priests, part of the first set ever on Veve. Yeah, that, and I think Becky is a really cool looking one too. I mean, this one looks just really like sleek and almost like pretty fierce looking, right? Compared to the other ones, so. All right, what do you guys think is the most overlooked, underrated collectible possible? This will be my last question before I hop off, and we'll look at it together. So I got like, I don't know, 5-10 more minutes. Is there a certain collectible you guys think that like that people have completely forgot about, overlooked? I remember I made a video a little while ago about FAs that you forgot about. I'm trying to remember which ones were on that list, but there was a handful of FA characters, I think, on Veve that people have just straight up forgot about. What budget? I would say not like the hyper grails, right? I mean, if it's a big grail, right? Like Walt, people haven't forgot about Walt. Walt is brought up. Walt, Todd, Miles Morales, like people talk about those on the daily, you know, weekly. I'm talking about ones that like you probably haven't heard of a content creator or someone tweet about in probably months, and people have just completely forgot about. That's what I'm talking about. Kind of more what I'm going after. Let me see, where's my list? Yeah, I remember I made the video, but it was about FAs under 20 gems that people forgot about. Yeah, mine was for under 20 gems. Mine was Jake the Dog, Batman Who Laughs, Catwoman, Zombie Spider-Man, Zombie Captain America, Jafar. I had some honorable mentions like T-Rex, some Voltron stuff, Boba Fett, Dr. Octopus, Chucky, Alice in Wonderland. If you guys have forgot, like, I actually think Alice in Wonderland is kind of a sleeper because right now she's going for 18 gems. And yeah, it's not like, okay, a ton of people are fans of her, but just because of the story about Alice in Wonderland and kind of going down the rabbit hole and people that take psychedelics and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's only 2,300 mints. So realistically, there's probably only like 2,000 in circulation, right? After Veve holds back a few and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So about 2,100. I do think Alice in Wonderland, I think Alice herself is kind of, remember the box price was 50 gems. Right now it's going for 20 or less than 20. So I do think that is one that people are kind of sleeping on a little bit. It's like, do you remember the last time? Another one too I brought up was, it's in the video, and I'll get to the comments here in a sec, which is Oswald. Bro, when was the last time you've heard of someone bring up this dude? Remember all the hype around this? People thought this was Steamboat Willie 2.0, which in a way it kind of was, but like, look at these all-time lows again. Both secret rares are basically heading towards box price. 72 gems and 73 gems respectively for the two secret rares. They're going for 60, but like, dude, when was the last time you heard someone bring up Oswald? Like, hardly ever. And now the rare, which I think is animated. Yeah, the rare is animated, and it's going for 15 gems. Super, super cheap. What budget? Boba Fett, that's a good one too. Boba Fett, I think, is another good one that people forgot about. I mean, as of right now, you can get the whole set for cheaper than the box price. You can buy, so let's just call it 10, 10, and then 53. So for 73 gems, you can buy all three Boba Fetts. That's less than the 80 gem box price. So imagine picking up a whole set, including the highest rarity one, for under box price, which is kind of nuts. Thor SR. I think that's a good one too. People forget about how popular Thor is. Maybe the only collectibles, let's go to just collectibles. I think the only thing kind of holding him back is the slightly high mint numbers. 2,200 mints. That's quite a few. And that's the other thing too, is like, it's kind of tough for collectibles that actually have multiple variations, because if someone's a Thor fan, right? They have 5 different budgets. They have 5 different price ranges. I mean, more really, there's only 3. You know, you have like 10 gems and under, which is these 3. You have 30 gems, which is the ultra rare, and then you have over 100 gems, which is the secret rare, right? So it I don't want to say it sucks, but if people are a Thor fan, they're like, all right, which variation do I get? Not everyone's always going to chase the secret rare, but someone might like either one of the stances of the rare, uncommon, common. I mean, you could buy all 3 of these lower range Thors for 20 gems, right? That's less than just the Thor animated by itself, the ultra rare. So just because there's like different price ranges and there's so many more Thors, that's different than something like, I don't know, like even just, I know there's variations of Hulk, but if we're talking like classic Hulk, there's really only one classic Hulk. There's really only one FA, 4,444 mints, which is still more than SR, but it's still less than SR plus UR combined. And there's not a bunch of other cheaper versions of him, like running or, you know, doing other crazy animations. I'm trying to think of another one, like, I don't know, Daredevil. Daredevil's a good one because he actually got burned a little bit. Burned in the sense of some of the liquidity got burned up. It's actually better if I look here. So if someone's a Daredevil fan, there's only one Daredevil they can buy. There's not a common variation of him like jumping, and there's an uncommon variation of him like holding his batons across his chest or something like that. Like, this is it. And because 3,338 got burned, there's only 3,500. There's only 2,500 of him, and that's it. So, FA Boba Fett $10 is crazy. Yeah, and I think that's because, like, the different variations, the different versions. Spider-Man common for 70 gems probably be my pick. I think people talk about Spider-Man a lot, but I do think that that is a good call. I don't think it's like a necessarily like a sleeper FA, but it is one that I think this is starting to get in a good price range. Yeah, for 70, yeah, 68 gems. The only thing that really holds this thing back is, again, how many mints does this have? Fresh. I thought it was 32,000, correct? It's a weird one. Yeah, 32,000 mints. That's just the commons. Uncommons, 16,000. What is that? 48 plus 9. That's 57. Let's just call it 60 flat. Yeah, there's just this first series of Spider-Man. There's 61,000 Spider-Mans roughly, just shy of it. Probably let's just call it 58 because of all the withholding supply and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, there's 58,000 Spider-Mans just be doing these variations. So these are just basically price ranges, right? 35 mints, 35k mints, but 50% locked up. For which one? Oh, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's what they say. No one really knows. Someone said that like half these like Spider-Mans, the commons, are like locked up somewhere in some like random collectible or like a small series of wallets or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really care to kind of like find out or do research on it, but I do want to buy one at some point. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. I'm actually going to hop off the stream. Let's see if anyone else is anyone else live streaming right now? Is there anyone else I can kind of send you guys to? Doesn't look like it. I don't see Kid Arcade. I don't see the Uncommon Podcast. I don't see anyone else streaming right now. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the watch party. Tomorrow we'll do the classic X-Men. We'll watch the first episode again. It's like 20 minutes. I thought that was a lot of fun watching the 89 X-Men if you guys have never seen it. I feel like a lot of even people that are X-Men fans have never seen it. Eva, when I went to Vegas, I brought it up to Kid Arcade. I'm like, hey man, have you seen the Pride of X-Men? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, the cartoon that came out in 89. They aired one episode and that was it. Like the arcade is based after the game or the arcade is based after the show. He's like, dude, I never knew that was the thing. I'm like, bro, you have to watch it. Like, just put it up on YouTube, watch it. It's a 20-minute episode. It's great. So, JKRB, thanks for hanging out, and then Slavs, thanks for being active in chat and hanging out too as well. So it's nice seeing all of you guys. Please be safe. Double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over.